As Michael descended the lighthouse stairs, his heart still racing, he couldn't shake the feeling that something malevolent lingered behind him, just out of sight. Raindrops clung to his skin, but he dared not look back for fear of what he might see. Back in the town of Moonhaven, he sought refuge in a small, dimly lit tavern. The locals, recognizing his pallor and the haunted look in his eyes, avoided making eye contact. Michael approached the bartender, an elderly man named Walter, who was known for his knowledge of the town's dark history. Walter listened intently as Michael recounted his chilling encounter in the lighthouse. The bar's patrons fell silent, their eyes wide with terror. Walter, with a solemn expression, leaned in closer and revealed the lighthouse's grim past. Decades ago, the lighthouse had been tended by a reclusive keeper named Elias, who had vanished under mysterious circumstances. His obsession with the supernatural and the occult had drawn him to conduct sinister experiments within the lantern room. It was said that he had made a terrible pact with dark forces, binding his own soul to the lighthouse. Since then, the lighthouse had been a cursed place, a beacon for lost souls unable to move on to the afterlife. Anyone who dared enter it risked encountering the tormented spirits that wandered its cursed halls. Haunted by this revelation, Michael spent a restless night in Moonhaven, plagued by nightmares of ghostly figures reaching out for him. He couldn't escape the feeling that the lighthouse's malevolent force had followed him, that the spirits were now a part of him, their mournful whispers echoing in his mind. Determined to break the curse and free the trapped souls, Michael returned to the lighthouse the following day. Armed with ancient texts on exorcism and a resolve born of desperation, he climbed the steps once more. As he reached the lantern room, a bone-chilling silence enveloped him. The room was empty, and the lighthouse's beam of light remained steady. With trembling hands, he began to recite the incantations from the texts, calling upon the forces of good to banish the darkness. Suddenly, a gust of frigid wind extinguished the lantern, plunging the room into pitch-black darkness once more. Michael's heart pounded as he felt a spectral presence closing in on him, its icy fingers grazing his skin. In the inky blackness, Michael fought to recite the incantations, his voice trembling but unwavering. Slowly, the lighthouse's lantern flickered back to life, casting a blinding light that banished the malevolent force. The room was empty, and the whispers faded into nothingness. Michael had broken the curse, but at a terrible cost. As he left the lighthouse, he could feel the lingering presence of the trapped souls within him, their tormented voices forever etched in his memory. Moonhaven's lighthouse was finally free from its dark legacy, but Michael would carry the horrors he had witnessed for the rest of his days. As the storm raged outside, I found myself alone in the secluded cabin known as Whispering Pines. Seeking shelter from the relentless rain, I had lit a crackling fire in the hearth, its flames casting eerie shadows on the log walls. The thunder rumbled ominously, and the cabin seemed to groan in response. Curiosity had led me here, drawn by the tales of this mysterious place. I couldn't resist the allure of its secrets, despite the foreboding atmosphere. The storm outside intensified, and I couldn't help but wonder if nature itself was warning me to leave. As the night wore on, the wind howled like a mournful ghost, and the trees outside scratched at the windows. Then, the whispers began. Faint at first, like the rustling of leaves, but unmistakably human. My curiosity turned to fascination as I strained to decipher the eerie voices. What was that? I muttered to myself, my voice trembling in the darkness. With a mixture of trepidation and excitement, I realized that I was at the center of something inexplicable. The whispers seemed to come from all directions, as if the very walls of the cabin were speaking. My heart raced, not with fear, but with a burning desire to understand. Determined to uncover the truth, I decided to investigate further. I stumbled upon an old diary, its pages filled with the desperate ramblings of a previous inhabitant who had succumbed to madness. The diary spoke of a malevolent spirit that haunted the cabin, seeking vengeance. The entries grew increasingly deranged, and the last pages were filled with cryptic symbols and drawings of a shadowy figure. As the night deepened, the whispers grew louder and clearer, taunting and tormenting me with secrets that hinted at a deeper mystery. Shadows danced menacingly around me, and ghostly apparitions materialized in the flickering candlelight. My curiosity now burned brighter than ever, driving me to unravel the enigma that surrounded me. I realized that the cabin itself was a vessel for the vengeful spirit, and it hungered for my curiosity and knowledge. Panic and dread mingled with my insatiable thirst for answers as I struggled to find a way to uncover the truth behind this haunting. In a final, daring act, I decided to attempt the ritual to banish the entity, following the cryptic instructions from the diary. But the ritual only seemed to anger the spirit, and it manifested in a terrifying form, a twisted and nightmarish creature. The cabin shook violently, and the fire roared, casting flickering shadows that danced in the madness. My heart pounded not with fear, but with a burning determination to confront the mysteries of Whispering Pines cabin. I screamed and fought against the malevolent force, desperately trying to find a way out. In a moment of sheer will, I managed to break a window and made a frantic escape, leaving the cursed cabin behind. As I stumbled out into the pouring rain, my curiosity remained unsatisfied, but my mind forever scarred by the tantalizing and haunting mysteries I had witnessed. As I looked back at Whispering Pines cabin, I could hear the malevolent laughter of the spirit echoing through the forest, a chilling reminder that some riddles are meant to remain unsolved, fueling curiosity from beyond the grave. And so, the legend of Whispering Pines cabin lived on, beckoning the curious and daring to uncover its secrets, even at the risk of losing their sanity in the process. As the blood moon cast an eerie glow over the village, Emma, the fearless leader, led her friends deep into the dark forest. The trees loomed like ancient sentinels, their branches seeming to close in around them as if guarding the secrets of the cursed glade. The air grew thick with tension and foreboding as they ventured further into the woods. Suddenly, they stumbled upon it, an otherworldly clearing bathed in an unnatural red light. In the center stood a gnarled ancient tree, its twisted roots appearing to writhe like serpents in the eerie moonlight. Around the tree, grotesque figures, half human and half monster, emerged from the shadows, their eyes glowing with a malevolent light. Frozen in terror, the group watched in horrified fascination as the creatures began to dance and chant in a sinister guttural language. Lily, the group's empath, couldn't bear the overwhelming surge of emotions emanating from the creatures. She collapsed to the ground, writhing in agony, her mind bombarded by a cacophony of despair and rage. The others, desperate to help Lily, shouted over the creature's haunting chants, but their words were drowned out by the unholy cacophony. Ben, the group's tech whiz, fumbled with his gadgets, attempting to capture evidence of the supernatural, but they malfunctioned in the presence of such malevolent energy. Alex, the rational skeptic, now a believer in the supernatural, realized that they had ventured into something far beyond their understanding. He frantically searched for a way to disrupt the creature's ritual, but the ground beneath them trembled ominously, as if in response to the sinister incantations. With a final bone-chilling chant, the creatures raised their arms, and the blood moon itself seemed to bleed, showering the glade with crimson drops. The ground beneath the group gave way, and they tumbled into a subterranean labyrinth where the walls pulsed with a malevolent heartbeat. Separated and disoriented, each friend faced their own nightmarish trials within the labyrinth's ever-shifting corridors. Emma confronted a doppelganger of herself, a distorted reflection of her deepest fears and insecurities. Alex found himself in a room filled with mirrors that reflected his most haunting regrets. Ben battled grotesque technological monstrosities born from his own creations, while Lily was haunted by the tormented spirits of the creatures from the glade. Hours later, they miraculously found each other in the heart of the labyrinth, battered and terrified. With sheer determination, they managed to escape the cursed glade, just as the blood moon's light began to wane, its crimson glow fading into darkness. They returned to Ravenswood, forever haunted by the horrors they had witnessed. The cursed glade remained a malevolent enigma, a dark secret buried deep within the forest. The friends could only hope that their chilling experience served as a warning to anyone who dared to seek answers in the realm of the supernatural.